guys like Michael Polkovich with his book No Meek Messiah, they're always harping on Christianity, right. And you never see them pushing to like, Muhammad is a terrible person. He never existed, or Islam stinks.
They wouldn't dare, Jay. They wouldn't dare. They'd get their heads cut off.
True. Well, here we have Christian activists, okay, right. Sacrificing their lives, flying over to Sierra Leone, Liberia, to help the sick when nobody else wants to. And on the other hand, we have ISOW, a bunch of Muslim activists slaughtering their way across the Middle East. But it's the Christians that are the problem.
Yes.
Their Jesus doesn't exist. They're terrible people.
Yeah, right.
Well, if ISOW does take Kobani, and they've already taken a third of the city. Kobani, Syria. It's a little border town in Syria, right next to Turkey. So if they take Kobani, if they take the rest of Kobani, I should say, they're very likely to mount an offensive attack on Turkey. Now, Turkey's a NATO country. And this is something new that I read today, that according to a NATO membership, you have to agree to the Washington Convention, which states that an attack on a NATO member constitutes an attack on you as another NATO member.
Right. That's the whole point of NATO.
Right. So are we going to be supportive of our country if we get drawn into a war and have to do, as the media lingo says, put boots on the ground?
Well, Jay, I think we're about to find out if NATO is worth the paper it's written on, if ISOW does, in fact, invade. But I got to tell you, Jay, I'm pretty sympathetic to those who say, no way. No way. Zip
Says Mr.
nada.
Romans 12.
Listen, zip nada, not another American boot on the ground, not another drop of American blood is going to be spilled in the Middle East. Why is it always American blood? How come the Saudis do nothing but sit on their patch of oil and never lift a finger? Nobody in the Middle East feels the need to raise a military, to train a military, to fund a military, to equip a military. Why? Oh, because never mind, the Americans will sacrifice their sons when things get bad enough. We have created a culture of dependency in the Middle East that is thoroughly unhealthy, and I think it's infuriating. The fact that these other nations are not standing up as they ought to and just expecting us to clean up the mess. I think it's infuriating, and I totally sympathize with the anti-war sentiment.
Well, normally, not all the time on the show, but in this case, I'm going to disagree with you because...
That's not allowed.
Sure it is.
It is?
Yeah, it would make our buddy John Vandermolen unhappy.
Listen.
We're supposed to disagree with you.
Where's the contract? Ty? Where's the contract? I'm pretty sure a disagreement is not allowed. Okay, fine.
Look, that's a good point. That's a good point.
All right.
But I disagree with it because this is a terrorist organization. They want to wipe out everyone that does not agree with their interpretation of Islam. And it gets even thicker for Americans as well because they're coming over here. They just arrested 12 ISIS-affiliated people crossing the Mexican border.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah. And America's so good with our border control. How many people got through that weren't,
that weren't caught?
That weren't caught.
Yeah. Well, you're making as I hear what you're saying, Jay, I hear you basically saying we will be made to care about ISOW sooner or later.
Exactly.
And you're saying, I can actually buy that argument. Look, it's not an ideal world. This is in Christian theology. We know this is a fallen world. It's broken. We don't have the world we wish we had. We have the world that we have. And as bad as it is that Americans are always spilling their blood in the Middle East, the truth is we're going to be made to care sooner or later. And it's probably best that we get it out of the way and start to care now.
Well said. And let it be known on the show that the great Dr. Brian Mattson was convinced by one of my arguments. All right, don't go anywhere because we might need a little piece to, I'm going to put up the other things for the show. So you could select this one or this one. Point to the third one, Brian. Point to the third show they could watch. This is the third segment. This is us being goofy.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So I'm gonna digitally put in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it takes a ton of time. That's why I'm going to be here all night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I may take a break for dinner. Go home, see the family.
Segments? Yes.
Yeah,
segments.
All here.
Mm-hmm.
I might even put one over your face because that would be funny.
Okay.
Just move it over your face.
You're funny.
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we're done.
Cool.